All right. All right. We're back. Got a cool little setup. I'm ready to accept a Zoom call right now. So I'm kind of recording this on Zoom. But welcome back to another episode of the Straight Outta Content podcast. It's your host, Carl. Straight Outta Content. Make sure you get the merch. Merch is available. Hit me up if you need some merch. It's been a crazy time. Let me just go ahead and start out with that. It's been a crazy time. A lot of things have happened behind the scenes of the podcast. So if you notice, I haven't really put out any episodes lately. Just a lot going on. I don't think I've put out an episode. Yeah, I have put out. Yeah, I think the last episode I put out was around the time when the ceiling in the bedroom collapsed. So if you guys don't know, someone trying to get out? No. So if you got, let's get this out the way. So if you guys don't know, try to put this like this. If you guys don't know, try to get right for camera. Yeah, there we go. You know, the ceiling in my, excuse me. The ceiling in my bedroom collapsed. Sorry, I'm going through like a cold. I need some tea. Babe, I need some tea. It collapsed and stuff like, I need some tea. It collapsed and we were dealing with that. We were in a hotel for a week and I actually filmed an episode from the hotel. And then, you know, life just hits, you know, some other people involved that might not be involved moving forward with the podcast. Oh, snap, Errol Spence. Here comes Errol Spence right now coming out. He looks really good. So yeah, you know, some people might not be involved in Straight Outta Content podcast moving forward, and that's cool. Things happen. You know what I mean? Blessings to everybody out there who was involved and who choose no longer to be involved. Hey, sometimes you just got to go your separate ways. That's business. You know what I mean? It happens. It's no big deal. You know, we'll continue to move on. My cousin Darnell, I think, will be doing more videos with me. I'm trying to get him on now, but I think he's busy back home in New York, but he's the one who will be doing more. I thought about getting my other brother, my brother Edwin on, talk boxing and stuff like that, but he works a lot. So, but if not, I'll do it myself like I've done since the beginning. You know, and I've done a lot of episodes by myself. So today I felt, you know, I got a cool new camera set up. I got this running through Zoom so I can accept calls. It's something that if people do want to join on, you got Zoom, you can join on with me and, you know what I mean? We could talk about the fight, stuff like that. Thought about hitting my dad up and stuff like that. So, but yeah, just a lot going on. I don't know if you guys checked out recently. I got in touch with a major YouTuber. So this is a plug. I'm definitely plugging him because we're going to be doing so much, just so many things with him. And he was just a really cool guy. It was an honor to meet him. My man, Mark from Big B TV. Make sure you guys go check out all of his Instagram, his YouTube. He's a big YouTuber, about 46,000 subscribers. Big B TV. He's got a dope 2020 green Mustang 5.0, right? 5.0. And yeah, man, real cool. Met me over there at Modifex. Shout out to Modifex. Shout out to Twin over there at Modifex. She wraps cars. You guys need your car wrapped. You guys need anything to do with a car. Modifex can do it. So met with him, made some custom merch for him. His line is coming out. Just been busy trying to grow the brand and share the content on YouTube. I'm officially at 701 subscribers. I'm almost at that 1,000 mark. But I really need to be like at 100,000. So I'm just trying to get this out there and just do, you know, what I can. So I just wanted to give an update. If anybody had any questions or anything like what's going on, that's just what's been going on with me. In fact, I think I might go live on Instagram, but that's just what's been going on with me is the not story, IG video, where to create new, yeah. Yeah, let me go live. Let's go live. Can I switch my camera? Yeah. Let's go live. Just in case. Yeah, so now I'm live on IG. You want to jump on Zoom, I can send you the link, but yeah. So now I'm live on IG. let's just go ahead and get straight into it. Danny Garcia. No. Last week. I did put out a small video. What up? I did put out a small video before the Mike Tyson fight. So I'll touch on that before I go on to the Danny Garcia fight. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., they called it a draw. You got a lot of people saying that that it was fixed. I saw some DJ Vlad interviews. They said it was fixed. They said it was this. They said it was that. To me, I guess I'm the only one that I wasn't rooting for either person. I didn't want to see my man Roy Jones Jr. get knocked out and embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like we've seen plenty of times before. He's been knocked the hell out and embarrassed. And I didn't want to see that. I think the whole event was really good. I think the Jake Paul knockout really kind of stole the show. It kind of amped up the crowd. I think the commentary by Snoop Dogg was really good. It was really fun to see. It's like you couldn't take it too serious. And luckily the people involved didn't take it too serious. And then the fighters really gave it their all. You know what I mean? The pre-fights, they were really good. And then the main event was actually entertaining, especially with Snoop Dogg. I think his commentary really added to it. Him kind of being silly and stuff like that. But then the guys in the ring, they were really kind of going at it. And the 2-minute rounds, I think, were better than the 3. I think we might have saw a knockout if it was 3-minute rounds, but there was a lot of holding. And Roy was, pot shotting and stuff like that. Not too many major shots were landed. But to me, what I saw, right, from somebody who trains boxing, trains my children and stuff like that, and who does, this is my love, this is my life. I saw Mike Tyson getting pushed around by a former middleweight. That's what I saw. I saw Mike Tyson getting pushed to the ropes by a former middleweight. You know what I mean? So in my head, I'm thinking like, I know the world wants to see Mike Tyson face one of the current champions, whether or not it be Josh or whether or not it be Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, so on and so forth. I do think that he could compete, but I think he needs at least like 10 of these exhibitions, at the minimum 5. 5 of these good exhibitions, because you could tell there's a lot of ring rust there, especially trying to chase Roy around. And you figured if there's 8 rounds that didn't have a minute, so we technically had another 2 rounds left. Because it was 8 rounds at 2 minutes. So technically, if it's in a regular professional fight, you would have added another 8 minutes that he would have had to compete. So I don't think he's ready yet. I think it'll be entertaining for him to compete against a current heavyweight champion. I don't think he can do anything with any of at this age and this stage in his career. Unfortunately, he's about too old. The last person to do it at heavyweight was George Foreman, and he was only in his 40s. He's, 6'3", 200 something pounds, 230, 240, 250. Mike Tyson was only 220. He's only 5'10". Oh, hey. What up? Danny, I wish you could get on with me, Danny. I wish Danny could get on with me. Is this getting out of focus? Let's make sure this stays in focus. Yeah, there we go. Danny, what up? But yeah, so I'm talking about the Mike Tyson fight. But yeah, like I said, I saw Mike getting pushed around. Like there's no, like to me, whether or not he could land the shots on Roy or not, that really wasn't the issue. To me, it was who's going to push who around. Yeah, he caught Roy with some really good shots, but there was a lot of times in the clinches, Roy was able to turn Mike Tyson. How? Hey, what's up? What's up? How in the hell was Roy Jones able to turn Mike Tyson? It just didn't make any sense to me as watching it. It's like you're not the bigger man, but you're letting this guy turn you. So and you're letting him push you up against the ropes. So to me, that's telling me if you're finding any current contender, anybody in the top 10, anybody in the top 20, you're not beasting on them like you used to. You used to be the smaller guy, Mike Tyson, and push these guys back. So my testament, I think in order to see if you want Mike Tyson to compete like the old days, we have to see what he does against Evander Holyfield. Now's the time. And he spoke on the Evander Holyfield fight saying he might my guy. What's up, buddy? You know what I mean? Saying, I might get it. Saying like Evander Holyfield's people, they're not really, they don't, I've reached out to them, but they don't know if they want to and all this other stuff. Well, Evander Holyfield has already made it official on his Instagram, has already made it official to the world. He thinks his turn is next. He thought that this was supposed to be his fight, but for whatever reason, it went with Roy Jones. I think it didn't go the way that he wanted. I think Mike Tyson wanted to look spectacular against Roy Jones to up the fight against Evander Holyfield, but that didn't happen. And Holyfield's not looking for a tune-up fight before he fights Mike Tyson. So I'm thinking they do it next and then have Jake Paul fight somebody else on their undercard. And Badu Jack did very good, you know what I mean? Maybe have the same three or whatever, but add somebody else in. But I think that that's the next fight for Mike Tyson. And if Mike Tyson can finally avenge, whether or not it's an exhibition or not, and finally avenge his loss and look really good against an Evander Holyfield, I then think that he's capable enough and sound enough to fight these top contenders and stuff like that. Otherwise, I don't think we see it because he's only going to get older. I think the fight that he should take, win, lose, or not, is kind of like the Rocky style when Rocky fought Antonio Tarver. I don't think Mike Tyson wants a part of the real Antonio Tarver, but in the movie Balboa, Rocky came out of retirement and fought Antonio Tarver, who was knocking everybody out, big heavyweight, stuff like that at that time. I think in real life, I think Deontay Wilder is that guy. I think Deontay Wilder is the Antonio Tarver character, and I think Mike Tyson can literally play the Rocky character. And if Mike Tyson can last 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder, I think he wins. I think he no longer needs to fight at all. I think that's a very valid accomplishment to be that old and not get knocked out by this man who's knocked out almost every opponent. I don't think that they have any bad blood. I think that them doing that for each other, and Mike Tyson touched on this, is people fight and then they make each other money. I think that fight would do huge numbers. I think a Mike Tyson Deontay Wilder fight, it's right now, it's not for a belt. I think it's just for a fight. I think that fight would be huge. Damn, he's landing that right hook. This kid can fight. So that's just, that's what I think. Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder, late 2021, I think, get the Tyson Holyfield fight in, and then go ahead and let the Wilder fight happen, and just make it simply make it like the Balboa movie. You know what I mean? We don't expect Mike to go in there and win, but Mike wins if he goes in there and lasts 12 rounds. And again, my prediction was wrong for the Roy Jones Jr. fight. I was completely wrong. Want everybody to know I was completely wrong. I thought that Roy Jones Jr. was going to get his block knocked off. But again, Mike was aggressive, but I think he still knows that he has more fights. I think he still knows he has to get off a lot of ring rust. So, and that's good. He got the 8 rounds in. I think he goes back to the drawing board. We know he was smoking weed the whole time. I think he goes back to the drawing board. I think he fights some more. So it's going to be great. I can't wait. I can't wait for that opportunity to see what he looks like moving forward. So on to Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence. I was literally supposed to be at this fight, but with COVID and everything going on and the numbers rising, it's just not smart to do that. What the heck do they got on TV right now? What the hell? Anyway, ain't nobody buying that. But anyway, they got some crazy stuff on TV. Danny Garcia, Errol Spence. I was supposed to be there. I didn't go because of COVID. But this is my prediction. Okay. On paper, across the world, Errol Spence, on paper, is supposed to beat Danny Garcia. He's supposed to beat him, right? This isn't like a Lopez versus Lomachenko fight where everybody thought Lomachenko was supposed to win, but real boxing fighters knew Lomachenko can't fuck with Lopez. He's just not big enough. We all knew that. And everybody knew going into that fight. what this fight is like the Bud Crawford and Kell Brook fight. You got Gilly the Kid, you got a whole bunch of us like, yo, we know Kell Brook can really fight. Like, yo, don't sleep on him. But Bud went in there and smashed on him. It was a little tricky in the beginning. And then Bud switched up like he always does. He's always going to go southpaw, switch up, and he stopped him. I'll get into that fight later because I think the styles of Bud switching to southpaw on an Errol Spence who already is southpaw, I don't think his tactics then work, which forces Bud to fight orthodox. I don't think he can go southpaw for southpaw with Errol Spence. I just don't think he can. I think he switches that on orthodox. I think he switches to that stance on orthodox fighters because he then has an advantage. But if he does it against another southpaw, what happens? Hence why Manny Pacquiao has never fought many southpaws. The last southpaw that Manny Pacquiao has fought was Joshua Clottey, and Joshua Clottey hasn't fought since he fought Manny Pacquiao. Exactly. And 90% of you don't know who Joshua Clottey is. So with that being said, that's what I think. I think on paper, excuse me, I think on paper, Errol Spence should pull off this victory. I don't see, again, this is just my prediction. This fight could go any way. But with that being said, I'm saying on paper, Danny Garcia is a live fighter because of the punching power in both of his hands. And we're coming off of an Errol Spence that was in that car accident. So we don't know how his body can take 8-ounce glove punches, not 10-ounce. You don't fight in 10-ounce gloves, so you get 154 pounds and up. Then you're fighting in 10-ounce gloves. But now he's fighting in 8-ounce gloves. He hasn't fought since October of last year. So his last fight was October of last year against Sean Porter. And then now he's fighting. So a little over a year later, after being in a tragic accident, having all those things pumped in his body and stuff like that, everything done to him to heal. Of course, he looks in tremendous shape. He looks super shredded. He physically looks the best I've ever seen him. This is the physically, like the eye test, physically, this is the best that I've ever seen Errol Spence, ever. But the question is, what's happening to him whenever he's receiving damage? Are things in his body hurting that never hurt before? Did this wreck take time off of his body? These are things that we don't know. So you can't go into a fight being like, no, definitely Errol Spence, or definitely Danny Garcia. This is truly a pick'em fight. And the reason why it is because we all went into the Kell Brook and Bud Crawford fight thinking, yo, Kell Brook looks crazy. He's shredded. He's so big. He just had 3 fights at 154 pounds or 2 fights and 1 or whatever. But at 154 pounds, he's the bigger man. He looks shredded. He's going to come in here. You look what he did. He went the distance with Errol Spence. He fought 5 hard rounds. He's only lost to big guys and to the greats. He's only lost to Triple G. Literally, Kell Brook has only lost to Triple G, Errol Spence, and Bud Crawford. Like, those are 3, Hall of Famers of all time. Like, those guys are going down in the Hall of Fame. So, his resume is pretty dope to only have losses to those guys. Roberto Duran has losses to Leonard, Hearns, Hagler. You know what I mean? And maybe some other ones. I don't know his entire record, but, he's still ranked as one of the, the 4 horsemen. You can't say, Leonard without saying Durant, even though he lost to him. You know what I'm saying? So I think Kell Brook is in there as well. You got to give him his props. Of course, he didn't get to fight the Keith Thurmans of the world and stuff like that, but he still gets his props. And you got Keith Thurman letting everybody know, like, yo, Danny Garcia can really crack. You got Sean Porter telling everybody too, yo, Danny Garcia can really crack. And if anybody's going to crack the shell of Errol Spence, this is the fight that is going to happen because of all that ring rust, of all that time out and healing and coming back and grinding and fighting, oh snap, and fighting and stuff like that. And then you step in the ring. And I commend Errol Spence for taking this fight. Like, he did not have to take Danny Garcia. Like, people really sleep on Danny Garcia just because he had two razor thin, close losses to somebody call me. Oh, close. Oh, somebody trying to get in a Zoom meeting. Let me see if he's trying to get out. Let me call up Darnell real quick. Let me invite. Let me see if he wants to get on. But you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. I mean, I give him a lot of credit for taking this fight against this guy because he didn't really have to. And like I said, razor thin losses. You know, Teddy Atlas today, I saw a video of Teddy Atlas saying he thought that Garcia beats Porter. You know what I mean? With the clear shots, but they gave the fight to Porter for activity. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's a lot of people out there like, Danny Garcia won that fight. I was one of those people. I was like, yeah, I could see both. To me, I thought they should have did a draw, but that's fair. I see you giving it to Porter. That's fine because Garcia tends to start late. I think in this fight, it's going to be a firefight. We've seen Errol Spence box against Mikey Garcia, who went 12 rounds and cannot hit as hard as a Danny Garcia, but he's extremely good. His boxing ability is there. For him to hold his weight, like Mikey Garcia's boxing ability is so good for him to be a guy who started at like 126 pounds and fight the biggest heavyweight at welterweight in his prime. For him to go up 2 weight classes, fight this guy, not get smoked, not get knocked down, go the distance, but get outboxed for 12 rounds shows that his boxing ability is that good that he can hang with bigger guys. Danny Garcia came from 140. Don't forget, all these other guys, 147, 154. Danny Garcia came from 140. Now he's fighting at welterweight at 147. But he kept his power. Like, he just got stronger because now he doesn't have to cut the weight. 147, I think, is his true weight class. I think 154 might be a tad too big for him, but I think his sweet spot is right there at 147 as long as he trains all year round and stays conditioned. With that being said, this is the time to catch, not to catch, but like this is the perfect timing. Timing is everything, right? Timing beats speed. Everybody knows that. In boxing, you can have speed. I'd rather have timing. You can throw all the shots you want. If I can time you in between your shots, which is somebody like a Danny Garcia, he's a counterpuncher. He's a really good counterpuncher, and he punches with you. If you go watch a lot of his knockouts, the other guy is throwing, and he's throwing as well. That's why Pacquiao was really good. He wouldn't wait for you to throw an encounter. No, you would start to throw, and Pacquiao would either beat you to the punch or throw with you. Danny Garcia has that exact same trait. You throw your shot, and Danny Garcia is also throwing a shot. And what works great is right hands. And Danny has a killer right hand and the left hook against a southpaw and Errol Spence. But Errol Spence has a great left hand. So it's going to be in a very interesting fight. I think personally that because Errol Spence is coming off such a long layoff, and really wants to prove that he can stop these guys and really get these guys out of there because he hasn't had a knockout in such a long time against a top elite fighter. And because Bud just got his knockout versus Kell Brook, I think that Errol Spence is coming into this fight wanting to show the world, like, yo, I'm not going to outbox Danny Garcia. I'm going to go to head toe-to-toe with Danny Garcia. And I think that can be an issue. You're not going to get clipped by Sean Porter. I mean, he just doesn't. He's not known as a power puncher, like knocking people out smooth and stuff like that. Danny Garcia is. And I think if he plays into that fight, oh, Shelby says she was at the jail. What's up, Shelby? I think if he plays into that fight, then we could see a situation to where Errol Spence gets clipped because he had teeth put. If you look at his teeth structure, they had to restructure his jaw and everything, and replace teeth, right? So I'm sure he has some hairline fractures. They were like, okay, look, because remember, he wasn't seen for a very long time. In the picture that we have, his eyes closed, his jaw is messed up. You know, we don't know what his jaw is like now. You know, did it heal stronger? Right? You know what I'm saying? And you're fighting a power puncher. One uppercut could refracture that, right? One uppercut could refracture, one hook, or it could cause swelling. We don't know. He's only been fighting in training gloves. So that's why this fight is super intriguing. And if you're somebody out there who thinks like, oh, like I said, on paper, Errol Spence should win, but I don't have an official prediction of who I think is going to win. This is probably one of the only fights in my life where I don't have an official prediction on who I don't think is going to win. I think it's that close. I truly do. Let me check. I truly do believe this fight is that close. So it's all just going to come down to, can Errol Spence produce and perform to the level that he always has? And can he take the shots from Danny Garcia post his car accident? All of those things play a lot into a fighter. You know what I mean? So we won't see, man. So that's my official prediction. It's not really a prediction. It's a, listen, this fight is this is the most 50-50 fight on planet Earth. The fact that, and again, Errol Spence could go in there and smoke him. Who knows? And Danny Garcia could go in there and smoke him. Who knows? But we've never seen Errol Spence or Danny Garcia down, and we've only seen Danny Garcia rocked one time, and that was early when he was cold in the Keith Thurman fight. The pay-per-view's on right now. It's about to, I think they only got like a couple more fights. But, you know, this is Danny's opportunity. If Danny's going to beat Errol Spence, it's going to be in this fight. Like, if you like, and he's like I said, timing. Like if I was Pacquiao, I wouldn't want to fight this Errol Spence. If I was Thurman, if I was Porter again, I would want to fight this Errol Spence. Danny Garcia has that opportunity. And if he wins, whether or not it's supposed, you know, Errol Spence will go on and could have a tremendous career, but Danny Garcia gets to have that and redeem his career. Or if it's a close loss for Danny Garcia, he still gets to live on with like, yo, I beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like he still gets to live on with that. He still gets to be like, yo, nah, I beat him. Like it's, you know what I mean? So I don't know. My biggest thing, and I'll end this with this, is I hate when my guys have to fight. I hated seeing Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia. I hate seeing, what the hell happened to my TV? Oh, damn, I messed it up. I hate seeing these guys fight, man. It sucks. These are my heroes. You know what I mean? These are my true heroes. I truly love these guys. And I don't want to see Danny Garcia lose. I personally love the way Danny Garcia fights. I love the way he throws his shots. I think he's a really cool guy. Same thing with Errol Spence, man. He's just super powerful, crazy, that southpaw. He started at 15 years old. He started at 15. He was a teenager when he started fighting. And look where he's at now. That's crazy. That's rare. That's really rare that you get that. You know what I mean? And to have his technique, because usually you know, like a Deontay Wilder, he started late, but his technique isn't fully 100% there. Errol Spence has amazing technique, amazing trainers to really keep him sharp, tight, keep his shot short. That's that turn. You notice in the hook that he caught. The hook that he caught Sean Porter with, and to drop him in the 11th round is the same hook that you go watch my video on YouTube. You see me. I said you could throw a hook like this, or you could turn your hook. Boom! He turned this hook. You watch him turn his hook, so his glove was facing this way. His glove was boom. He turned his hook. He could throw it. A lot of people throw a hook like that, so you could throw it faster. But he turned that hook, and when he turned it, he caught Sean Porter and dropped him and got that 10-8 round and won that fight because it was a very close fight. So, you know, he still has all those attributes. We've seen him training. My biggest thing is when he starts to get hit, because he's going to get clipped. You do not go into a fight without getting clipped by Danny Garcia. And I think Danny Garcia is extremely up for this fight. He's a live fighter. I mean, we've seen Leonard versus Duran, and this is similar to that type of fight. This is that type of fight, a Leonard versus Duran type of fight. It really, truly is. You know what I mean? So, and we all know that Leonard used to do shit in his off time, drinking and stuff like that. He never in no car accident like that. But he used to do his thing in between fights. So this is that type of fight. It can happen. Danny Garcia has, hands of stone like that. That boy can really hit. So it's gonna be a beautiful fight, guys. I can't wait. Make sure you guys, check out, the fight. Check me out on all the streaming platforms. You'll see it on the screen somewhere around here. You'll see all the streaming platforms that I'm on: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I'm on all the platforms. Make sure you guys check out Straight Out of Content. If you need merch, if you want some merch, hit me up on Straight Out of Content on Instagram. You'll see it here. I'll put it in the description. If you're listening to this, Straight Out of Content on Instagram. You can also go to flashcustomdesigns.com, get all my merch there. Contact us on Flash Custom Designs on Instagram, flashcustomdesigns@gmail.com. I'll put everything in the video if you're watching this, but if you're listening to this on Spotify or anywhere like that, make sure you guys check us out there. Big B TV's merch is coming. It's definitely coming. Just be patient. It's coming. You guys will be able to get it. We're just going to meet with him. We're going to have a great meeting, and then we're going to release it. Okay, guys? We also got some big news coming out. We got a toy. Nope, maybe I can't say it yet. I'll wait, guys. But hey, guys, I'm about to go watch this fight. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm super excited. And I'll probably do another video after the fight's over for a post-fight. Killing every day. Don't forget, George. Don't forget to go any Killing Every Day gear. He's a super trainer here in Texas. You need a trainer, hit up Killing Every Day on Instagram, Killing Every Day on YouTube. We got to get his subscribers up, man. Make sure you guys go follow him. YouTubing on a budget. Shout out to Robbie, YouTubing on a budget. Make sure you guys go follow him. Just follow everybody. If you're watching this, I'll put everybody in the link in the description below. If you're listening to this, check me out on Instagram. You'll see all the people who I'm talking about. Check me out on YouTube. You'll see all the people I'm talking about. You guys be safe. You guys be basic, man. I'm about to go watch this fight. I can't wait. We got great boxing. 2020 was a really good year for boxing. I'm super proud of everybody. Glad that everybody's healthy. Hope you guys are healthy. You see, I got a cough. Just got a little bit of a cough, but that's about it. So I'm happy. My family's healthy. We got the dope Christmas tree there. And you guys be safe, man. You guys know my slogan. Straight out of Content. YouTubers can relate. Peace.